I think we may have found something that's even rarer than a 1-point safety. However, it may be much easier to intentionally do. Let's read it directly from the high school rulebook to get a better understanding. After a try, the opponent of the scoring team shall designate which team will kick off. And later it says, after a field goal, the opponent of the scoring team shall designate which team will kick off. What does this exactly mean? Well, let's look at a couple normal series of events for what happens with the touchdown and compare it with this after a try absurdity. So we score a touchdown, then there's an extra point attempt or a try. Extra points attempts are labeled tries in most rule books. Then there really isn't any discussion between the refs and the coaches outside of a penalty call or a ball placement or something. Then the team on the defense during the try receives the ball on the kickoff. It's simple. Pretty much everyone is familiar with the series of events, and it's one of the most common ways the ball is turned over. This strange rule seeks to upend this reality. The opponent of the scoring team, or just the defense, can decide to give the ball back to the dudes who just scored on them. Like, what in the world? What reality does this make sense? Well, this is football, and there's a couple of surprises scenarios where this could potentially make some amount of sense. First, imagine with me, let's say it's a close game in the fourth quarter. The opponent scores, making it so that they only need a field goal to win the game. You know they're going to onside kick and attempt to get the ball back, giving them good field positioning in addition to an offensive drive. After that, all they need after they get the onside kick is 15 to 20 yards, and then they're in field goal range. And if their kicker is good, it's a risk you might not want to take. So why not just give them possession in the first place by giving them the ball instead of taking the chance with an onside kick, kicking them back to the other side of the field, their side of the field. I could see this happening with a team that struggles on special teams and has a Class A 5-star defense. Still, I think most coaches would just take the chance of the onside kick. In addition, there's also a theory that this happened much more frequently in the old days of American football, where offenses were anemic and defenses were king. In some cases, defenses would score more times than the offenses, but it makes sense that teams, after being scored on, would rather be on a defense firing on all cylinders than a struggling offense. It seems easy to conclude that most touchdowns early in the history of football were probably defensive touchdowns, but I'm going to have to do a little bit more research in this history before I make any sweeping conclusions. In summary, the validity of even considering turning the ball over after being scored on after a try depends heavily on how much a coach trusts their defensive team and perhaps how much they distrust their special teams. Sadly, or maybe not so sadly, depending on your perspective, the NFL does not have this distinction. Under Rule 11, Article 4, on kickoff after a try, it says after a try, the team on defense during the try shall receive the kickoff. It doesn't give them a choice to give it back to them. It's forced. After a try, the team on defense during the try shall receive the kickoff. And it's also the same thing with field goals. Team on defense, they automatically receive the ball via kickoff. You know what? Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you all so much for the show support for the 1-point safety movement. We got 50,000 views on the fair catch video, which just blows my mind. Thank you guys for also giving me 100 subscribers. This movement is growing, it's thriving. I can't wait till we see 1-point safety happen in the NFL. It'll warm my heart. Thank you all so much. Make sure to continue spreading the message about the 1-point safety. Join the movement by subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time.